You are sitting in your car, you shift the lever, and suddenly nothing happens because your transmission is flat out refusing to go into neutral. It is one of those moments that makes your heart sink, but before you start panicking about the cost of a whole new transmission, let us talk about what is actually going on with the P073D trouble code. This is a generic powertrain code, which basically means it can happen to almost any modern vehicle with an automatic transmission. Whether you are driving a Volkswagen, an Audi, or even a Ford, your car's brain, which we call the engine control module, has noticed that the transmission is not hitting that neutral position when it is supposed to. I have seen this happen many times, and the severity is honestly moderately high because if you keep trying to force it or ignore it, you might end up causing thousands of dollars in internal damage. The first thing you should do is stop driving it if you are stuck in a gear. Your transmission control module, or TCM, is like the conductor of an orchestra, making sure every gear shift is perfectly timed. When it throws this code, it is often because the automatic transmission fluid is either too low or just plain filthy. You would be surprised how much a bit of dirty fluid can mess up the hydraulic pressure needed to move those internal parts. If your car has a dipstick, check the level while the engine is running and in park, but make sure you are on a flat surface to get an accurate reading. Look for any red puddles under your car because a leak is a very common culprit here. If the fluid looks clean and the level is fine, you might be looking at a wiring issue like a melted connector or a short circuit. Sometimes the TCM itself gets hit by water or corrosion if it is mounted in a vulnerable spot. If you have a scanner, try to monitor the gear position while you are stopped. If the car feels like it is dragging or accelerating painfully slow, it is likely stuck in a high gear like 4, 5, or 6. On the flip side, if the engine is screaming but you are barely moving, you are probably stuck in a low gear like 1 or 2. Start with the basics of fluid and wiring before you assume the worst about the mechanical internals.